Hey guys, welcome back to House Blackout, part 2 of the Vietnam War. On that first part, I got a little bit aggravated with what I was reading, and which is probably normal. I love my country, guys, no doubt about it. I love everything about our country, and love our men and women who served our country. It's when you read over some of them figures and stuff in that first half, to know that how many people we left behind, and it's just kind of a heavy burden, and of course it's bound to get anybody upset that reads, looks at these figures. But anyway, the TV that you see behind us right now was donated to us by A1 Computer. I thank Rob for the TV. If you notice the picture on the TV, guys, it is the angel flight. Alright? The angel flight, the only job that the angel flight has to do is the angel flight is our honor to carry brothers and sisters home who didn't make it. No matter where this flight goes, what airport, wherever they're landing, all of their planes will be held up because it is the first to land. It is a very honorable and respected plane because it has heroes aboard. And if you notice, it looks like an angel. That's the way that they have it set up, and it's really awesome sight to see the respect and honor that they give for that flight. All right, guys, back to the Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, the war crimes of the Viet Cong was let go. There were so many war crimes in Vietnam, with the killing, the murder of our men and women in captivity. These countries that border, that would allow the Vietnamese to cross into their country but not allow our American soldiers to cross back into it. It was a politics game. It's basically what it fell down to, and it's crazy that this war was set up for a no-win for our men and women. They, no matter what, unless we went across these areas and totally annihilated everything, there was just no win. Our men and women were set up to fail and come home with a no-win. May 7th, 1975, they pulled out. Alright? The United States pulled out in 1975, May 7th, leaving behind 2,700 Americans. Now, out of the 2,700, 1,611 were never accounted for. In other words, they were just flat left behind. That don't get you aggravated. They pulled out, left people on the ground, and left people in captivity, POWs. Never even bothered to get these guys back until now. And it's sad. We should have just bombed the heck out of everything, crossed them borders, and got our men and women back. No holds barred, flat out. It's very sad. It's very sad to know that we did that we did that to our own people, and for them to come home, with Agent Orange and suffer from PTSD. You know, some of these guys never even got to sleep. Some of these guys just couldn't sleep. You know, there's so much going on. You know, and I always say, if us as a normal person would go in and get 5 minutes out of some of these men and women's heads that they've seen in that combat in Vietnam, we'd be scared to death. You know, everybody thinks that, you know, hey, they served our country, let's go to McDonald's. We don't care. You know, and that's the problem with this country. It's supposed to be united we stand. United we stand. One nation under God. And we're divided. And until this country comes back together, it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah, I don't care if you vote. I don't care if you don't vote. I don't care about politics. It ain't got nothing to do with politics. I can't stand politics. But one nation under God. That means the people. Not the fat people sitting in chairs in the bureaucrat office. The American people. You and me. Them people down there work for you and me. They make their money off the taxes that you pay. And I seen a post there the other day about the woman, I forget what it was, but the Speaker of the House or whatever, said that she didn't care what the public thought. Guys, the Speaker of the House, which is supposed to represent the people of the country, says she didn't care what the public thought. And, you know, it's right on the camera. I mean, how do you work for the people of our country, but then you say you don't care what the people think? That's how bad it's getting, guys. And we got, right now, as of right now, we have men and women that got killed over this Iran deal. We had American women, soldiers, that were killed. And our military found the general that was with Iran, and they killed him. And we have people in this country that is bashing and blowing up because the sitting president went and got the idiot that killed the American people. And now they're bashing this sitting president for sending our men and women in and doing what they're supposed to do. This country is so divided, and it's sad. It's very sad. I love my country, and I love every man and woman that served for this country, and that's the way it should be. That's the way we all should be. We all should stand behind our men and women who sent off to siege. You know, people don't understand why I'm doing this. See, I was young and dumb and didn't have no common sense at that point, and I didn't join the military. And as time grew on in the 80s, because there wasn't nothing in the 80s, now that of my age now, I regret that I didn't go in to say that I could serve my country and be as proud as these men and women should be right now. We should not have an unhappy man and woman who served our country. PTSD needs a cure. And every time you guys see a hat on a veteran's head, or a shirt, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, you know, or a Vietnam veteran, Korean, or whatever, you know, it doesn't take much to look at these guys and say, hey sir, hey ma'am, Thank you for your service. God bless you. You don't understand how much of a reaction, they might not show it, but how much of a reaction in their heart that you just gave them, guys, a shockwave of respect. I do it everywhere. I don't care where I'm at. I'll run all the way across the room. I won't run because I'm too big to run, but I will walk all the way across the room and I'll find that veteran and I will shake his hand. Because I respect that he went and did something that I didn't get to do, and that's serve our country proudly. Some of these guys think that serving their country was a waste of time because they wasn't happy. Only to get back home and be thrown out into a civilization where they never caught back up. You know, they come home to a new world. You know, they went into war and they come home and everything changed. Think about that. Everything changed. Our Vietnam veterans went off to war. Some of them served 2, 3, 4 tours. I mean, there's guys in there that went back 4 times because they didn't want to be home. Because there was more hell at home than what there was where they were at. And then they wonder why PTSD started. Think about it. These guys would rather die for their country than come back home. Because the people back here, the cupcakes back here, who didn't go to war, that dodged the draft, were back here bad-mouthing them. Their own country people. And it's sad. It's sad, but that's far gone. So the only thing that we can do now is to make them know, make them understand that we respect them. Our generation respects them because they did something that we didn't do, and they didn't have a win. Our Vietnam veterans had no chance of winning that war in Vietnam because it was set up for our men and women to fail. They were only allowed to fight in certain areas, and they couldn't fight in the areas that would have won the war. They weren't allowed to do that. We lost all them men and women because of political guidelines. And that's it's pathetic, but it's sad. But guys, I'm getting a little bit uptight, so I just when I start talking about this stuff, it kind of upsets me to know that we have men and women out there. We have 22. We have 22 a day. 22 a day suffering PTSD and Agent Orange. This ending their lives. And it's sad. I mean, these men and women went through so much only to come back to their own country and can't take no more. And they end up ending their life. 22 a day. And everybody says, well, let's say, yeah, it's not that easy. These guys wake up at the middle of the night. They sit up in their bed and they see enemy that's not there, but they are there in their head. Some of them go into a restaurant and they have to face the door. Because if they don't face the door, they put their back to the door, they get the jitters because they're not comfortable. So they have to face the door at all times. I can't blame them. I can't blame them. Some of these guys on the 4th of July, they wear earplugs. Why they wear earplugs? Because the banging in the air reminds them of, let's go to French Scott Key, bombs bursting in the air. You think about it. Guys that was under heavy fire, fighting war. That was a consistent thing, was bombs bursting, explosions. So they wear earplugs in their ears for the 4th of July. And they wonder why a lot of people kind of stay away from anywhere where there's fireworks, I can't blame them. Some of these guys, they were sent into hell to lose, basically. So I just hope that one day our government finds a cure, finds some kind of cure to stop 22 of these guys from dying today. I hope they find a cure for Agent Orange. They created it. Find a cure for it. It's really sad. It's really sad that our men and women set up to lose and they had to come home with all this stuff and all these burdens piled up in their head. And they walk by so many people and so many people just ignore them. You know, instead of giving them some encouragement, giving them some support. You know, that 5 seconds of, hey sir, hey ma'am, thank you for your service. God bless you. I'm glad you made it home. Welcome home. It takes 5 seconds to do that. You know, I do it everywhere. My kids do it. Anybody around me does it. And if they don't do it, I let them know. You know, I'll say, hey, there's a veteran over there. You know. So now pretty much everybody that's around me knows that when there's a veteran there, you go up and shake their hand, you thank them. You know. Our guys that walk with us in parades, when we do parades with the truck, they'll be carrying the flags. They will walk off. They'll disappear because they'll be in the crowd shaking hands with veterans sitting in the crowd with hats on. I'll be riding down, you know, going through the parade and there won't be no flags in front of me because they're all out in the crowd. But they're doing their job. They're shaking the hands and thanking them veterans sitting in the crowd. But they're back in front of me when we stop to do the national anthem in the grandstand. I had them running past me full speed to get up there before we got to the grandstand before the national anthem. And that's called respect. And anybody that goes with me on any event will have respect. And 100% respect. And that's what this show's about, guys. Look, I'm not afraid of criticism. If you don't agree with something that I said about the Vietnam War, send me a letter. Let me know. Don't be ignorant about it. Just tell me what your thoughts of it was. You know? Because like I told you, I'm here to learn along with you. So if you have a different thought about something that I talked about, let me know. That way I can look it up and I can see maybe I did make a mistake. If I did, I'm human. But I still want to learn. There's a big difference between getting on here and preaching or getting on here and wanting to learn more about it. My next show, I'm going to be doing Chris Pronto. My experience with Chris Pronto, the guy from the Benghazi incident. Chris was one of the ones who rushed in to save the Americans over in Benghazi, where our military was told to stand down. Chris was one of the heroes that ran in and saved what Americans they could save, and they ended up. Well, I don't want to ruin it for you. Chris Pronto was actually in Blackout. He rode in Blackout for about an hour, and talked to him, and he's a hero to me. Of course, all veterans are heroes to me. And Chris told me some things in the truck that I had a VIP pass. I got to see his over at the convention center there at HJC. I got to see his lecture on what happened in Benghazi, and I got front row seat of it, and I loved every minute of it. Loved every minute of it. I watched the movie 5 or 6 times, 13 hours. If you've never seen 13 Hours Benghazi, you need to see it. Chris Pronto is the guy that I met, and actually occasionally I'll get a message from him. And I don't see him too much. I know he's in D.C. sometimes for Rolling Thunder, and but he don't like to be pointed out. He'll come by and tap me on the back or something, and tell me hello, and he'll keep moving because he don't like for people to know that he's around. He's just that type of person. But to me, he's a hero because he served our country, and it's like he said, he would do it again. And but guys, I love you guys. for watching the show. I hope you learned. Hope you learned something. I learned a good bit from what I wrote down and what I've seen on the internet. And if you have any, if you have something or you want to tell me something, put it in an email. ct1234567 @comcast.net. And on the headline put House of Blackout. And then tell me what you think. Guys, I love reading it. I love reading that stuff. So don't be afraid to send it to me. Also, don't forget to visit the Blackout website, www.blackoutinc.org. All right, that is our host page. Guys, we also, excuse me, we also have our donation button on the website. This is teardown season for the truck. We started to tear down. We're going to have a show about the tear down and pictures and stuff. That'll be upcoming. But the next show that we're doing will be Chris Pronto and Ben Ghazi, and then we're going to do the one about the tear down on the truck. So we have two big shows coming up. I can't wait to bring you more. And I want to tell you thank you again for coming into my house. But also don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Guys, the reason why you subscribe to the page is because I have a goal of 1 million set of eyeballs. I want 1 million people to see this video. Alright, either one of my videos. I just want a set of eyeballs on it. My goal is 1 million because that means 1 million people. 1 million people got to learn something like I did to respect and honor our veterans and our fallen heroes who can't be with us anymore. God bless our country. God bless our heroes. And God bless you. I will see you on the next House of Blackout.